Grandma Margaret always says, family is your anchor. It will keep the fears away. When you can rely on their strength and their solicitude, count on their unmatched grit and eyes keen as an eagle, then the corruption falls to drown the world. You stay fearless. When the times call for the steel of blades, you stand together as a family.
Foretells the arrival of an entity shrouded in mystery. Some say it's born out of man and goblin's union. Others call them a vengeful spirit from another dimension. Nobody knows who Yajuj Majuj really is. An elegant, calculated warrior, a heavy, bludgeoning force of a brute, turning, shifting in a blink of an eye. Yajuj Majuj's existence reminds us that we all have multiple faces. Ones we keep exposed, and those we hide, even from ourselves.
What makes a family is not where they live, or what they do, or possess. What makes a family is what they share, and how they look after each other. And with this peculiar family, what runs in their blood is a distinct taste for adventure.
They say in the darkest of days, real help can come from the most unusual places. And when you think about Apon and her appearance in the Bergsons' life, unusual doesn't even begin to describe it.
John, a force to be reckoned with. Lucy, who sets the world ablaze. Joey, a mighty yet gentle giant. Kevin, in unity with the shadows. Mark, nimble as a river. Linda, the one that never misses. They say when trouble comes, family means the world. And for the Bergsons, it is now more true than ever. Force to be reckoned with. The father's duty to protect the family. Two blades. In unity with the shadow. A swift movement. A razor-sharp cut. The fiery soul. Sets the world ablaze. The magic of youth. The purity of heart. With all its charms. And all the small imperfections. Short moments of truthful bond, and times of piercing loneliness. When your world falls apart, it is your family that holds it together. While the world around is being devoured by darkness. It's the family that matters the most. And the sacrifice we are willing to make to save them.
When you think of family, what comes to mind first? A story of hope, of love, of despair. Of how fathers pave paths for their young ones. How mothers keep everyone together in a time of struggle. Thousands of memories bring thousands of images. These moments when you gave it all for one another, but also times when you felt alone, vulnerable, and wounded. When you think family, you realize how it shapes you. How it shapes us all. And how little we tend to care about that lately.
Facing corruption alone is a harrowing task. Some may say nigh impossible without aid. A wise adventurer never tackles such challenges without a daring companion.
Only a united family can stand up against it.
The legends of old say a new, two-faced warrior shall appear one day. All signs on earth and in the sky show that it will happen soon. Some say it's born out of man and goblin's union. Others call them a vengeful spirit from another dimension. Nobody knows who Yajuj Majuj really is. An elegant, calculated warrior, a heavy, bludgeoning force of a brute, turning, shifting in a blink of an eye. Yajuj Majuj's existence reminds us that we all have multiple faces. Ones we keep exposed, and those we hide, even from ourselves.
Children of Morta is an action RPG with a roguelite approach to character development, where you don't play a single character, but a whole extraordinary family of heroes. Hack and slash through hordes of enemies in procedurally generated dungeons, caves, and lands, and lead the family of Bergsons with all their flaws and virtues against the forthcoming corruption. Gameplay-wise, it's a unique mix of action-adventure RPG, roguelite, and hack-and-slash game. By leveling up, you develop not only individual characters, but also the entire family. There is no permadeath, and you can change family members between the dungeon runs. The story takes place in a distant land, but copes with themes and emotions common to all of us. Love and hope, longing and uncertainty, ultimately loss and sacrifice we are willing to make to save the ones we care for the most. Ultimately, it's about a family of heroes standing against the encroaching darkness. You can choose from 6 different family members, each one having unique skill sets. The father, John, a protective warrior with a sword and shield. The elder daughter, Linda, a precise archer. Kevin, a quiet fighter equipped with deadly daggers. Lucy, a lively and bold fire mage. Mark, a mindful martial arts fighter. And Joey, who smashes his enemies with a sledgehammer. Ranged attacks, magic spells, blocks, stuns, evasions, and passive skills. It's all there for you to discover, unlock, and upgrade. Check out different setups and find your preferred way of combat. In Children of Morta, there is no classical inventory system, but instead, there are dozens of items that you can randomly find on your way. They can give you passive buffs, modify your attacks, allow to spawn powerful totems, and more. And if you don't like what you find, you can always stop by a store and purchase stuff from a merchant. All the dungeons in the game are procedurally generated, which means their layout is different with each adventure. They can be from 2 to 4 levels of each dungeon, with a unique boss fight at the end. You can always get back the previous dungeons to get extra XP or finish all the side quests. There are 3 different lands to discover. Each one represents a different part of the Morta realm. The Calvibo Caves, the city of Barahut, and the land of Terra Lava, each filled with unique enemies, bosses, and challenges linked directly to the environment around you. Play with your friend, or wife, or mom. It's a game about family after all. Currently, the game supports local co-op for 2 players, but online co-op is in development and will be added for free in a future update. Gorgeous, hand-drawn, stylish pixel art. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, so just take a look and embrace it. The game costs $21.99 and will be available on PlayStation 4 on October 15th. Be sure not to miss it.
Margaret awoke, startled, a cold sweat clinging to her. She gathered her thoughts. Aged wood creaked, echoing through the quiet rooms. Near the house stood a shrine to Rhea Dana, goddess and daughter of the land, of Rhea and a being of comfort. Margaret sought answers. But the goddess did not speak. There was only the faint whisper of something dark, something hungry. The old seer's bones felt the weight of their age as she climbed. The only thought on her mind, has it begun again? John's mission would be a simple one. He was to investigate Rhea's greatest shrine. His mother presented him with a fresh divinity shard. From his brother came a newly sharpened sword. His wife gave him a kiss, and his daughter's hugs were full of reason to return home safe. Rhea, a land long forgotten, a place of unimaginable beauty. It first appeared as sludge given life, slithering creatures, small and vile. A wall, impeding further progress. A battle was certain. Margaret awoke, startled, a cold sweat clinging to her. She gathered her thoughts. Aged wood creaked, echoing through the quiet rooms. Near the house stood a shrine to Rhea Dana, goddess and daughter of the land, of Rhea and a being of comfort. Margaret sought answers. But the goddess did not speak. There was only the faint whisper of something dark, something hungry. The old seer's bones felt the weight of their age as she climbed. The only thought on her mind, has it begun again? John's mission would be a simple one. He was to investigate Rhea's greatest shrine. His mother presented him with a fresh divinity shard. From his brother came a newly sharpened sword. His wife gave him a kiss, and his daughter's hugs were full of reason to return home safe. Rhea, a land long forgotten, a place of unimaginable beauty. It first appeared as sludge given life, slithering creatures, small and vile. A wall, impeding further progress. A battle was certain. The shard grew warm, humming softly from the harnessed energy. Before him was now one more dangerous than those that came before. Goblins, a familiar threat, albeit farther out than usual. Goblins, a familiar threat, albeit farther out than usual. Magnificent, but dangerous, a land of love found and of love lost. Before him was sacred ground, left untouched in days gone by. Remaining calm and collected, the shock of his heart-skipping beats was concealed in expert fashion. Before him stood Linda, his eldest daughter, with bow and quiver at the ready, determined to do her part. Before the Guardians were not beasts feeding, but monsters consuming, destroying others. They corrupted and distorted, creating even more hungry husks. The ancient tree had been cut down. Together, father and daughter described the horror, the creatures dripping with decay that slithered into bodies stuck between life and death to bolster their ranks. Grandma Margaret confirmed what they all feared. It was the corruption, a cruel entity spoken of only with hushed voices, an ocean of darkness that flowed from the top of Mount Morta. And the Bergsons' duty was to stand against this devouring deluge of death. Kevin was also eager to do his part in the family's fight, especially when his older brother Mark was off somewhere. He was as much a guardian of their mountain home as any of them. She stood. If they were to reach the summit and destroy this evil, as the Bergsons of old had done in the past, they would need the assistance of the sanctuary. Given to the Bergsons by Rhea herself, the sanctuary was a gateway to the mysterious lands around the mountain. Margaret pointed to the huge crystal at the center of the den, revealing their next task: to activate it and open the way to the source of the corruption. And once Rhea's 3 spirits are gathered on the grounds, the only gate to the top of Mount Morta will open in this chamber. By himself, or with the assistance of those who loved him, John needed to gather the 3 spirits from their lands. Without them, he would not be able to stem the flow of the corruption. Halls of Anaidiah must be here, for she needs to be found. A celestial shard chipped directly from the ancient crystal in the sanctuary. It would be the Bergsons' lifeline, a tether to pull them back home before death's fateful whisper. Filling the winding tunnels of the silk-covered caves, the acrid taste of poison lingered in the air. Spiders. Linda told herself it was only target practice. As she readied her bow, they must find the spirit deep within.